Hey, it's Minyunga. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to color grayscale drawing on Procreate. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Studio HXH for his awesome Draw This in Your Style challenge. You should definitely check him out on Instagram and YouTube if you haven't already. He's a cool digital artist who shares great tips and advice. In today's video, I was drawing for the challenge, so I wanted to show you how I color my drawing on grayscale. Preparing the drawing. First, as you can see, I drew everything in grayscale. Make sure it's on a separate layer and set the layer blend mode to multiply. This will allow us to color underneath the grayscale layer without affecting it. Here I import the drawing reference that I'm using on the palette side, so I will get all the colors from that drawing without picking colors every time from the drawing. It's a really cool hack to have palette colors from any picture you want and use those colors for your own artworks. Here I'm trying to pick light orange pastel color from the color wheel since I'm not going to use the same exact shade as the reference. As you can see, the drawing it's on multiply layer mode. Now add another layer under the drawing layer. Adding base colors. Under the main drawing layer, I made a new layer and use it to apply the base colors. Use any brush you want, and you can also use the selection tool. Don't worry about staying within the lines. You can always clean it up later. When adding base colors, it's important to consider the overall color scheme of your illustration. You may want to choose a limited color palette or stick to complementary colors to create a more cohesive look. Choose a brush that suits your style and start adding colors to your illustration. Keep in mind that the base colors will affect the overall color scheme of your illustration, so choose your colors carefully. This is the most satisfying part of the drawing. While coloring, I want to talk about an important topic for artists, especially the beginners. There's 10 common mistakes you should avoid while making your digital artworks. Over-reliance on filters and presets. Using filters and presets can be helpful in achieving certain effects or styles quickly in your digital art. But relying on them too much can make your artwork look generic or formulaic. To avoid this, try to develop your own unique style by experimenting with different techniques and tools. And don't rely solely on filters or presets to create your digital art. Ignoring basic art principles. Even though digital art offers a lot of flexibility and convenience, it's important to remember that the basic principles of art still apply. Make sure you understand concepts like composition, color theory, and perspective, and apply them to your digital work. Neglecting to sketch and plan. Digital art allows for a lot of experimentation and revision, but it's still important to start with a solid sketch and plan before diving into a full-scale piece. Taking the time to plan out your composition, color scheme, and lighting can save you a lot of time and frustration in the long run. Using low-quality reference images. Reference images can be incredibly helpful for creating accurate and realistic digital art. However, using low-quality or poorly lit images can result in inaccurate proportions, details, and colors. Try to use high-quality reference images that show the subject in clear lighting and angles. Copying other artists' work. While it's fine to take inspiration from other artists, copying their work without permission is not only unethical, but it can also hinder your own artistic growth. Instead, try to learn from other artists' techniques and use them as a springboard to develop your own style and voice. Back to our drawing. After I finish adding the base colors, now I added a layer on top of all of them and changed the layer mode into color. And now you can choose the same skin shade and color on top. It will give a really cool smooth effect and change the shading color. And now color freely. Let's finish the other mistakes that you should avoid in your artworks. Relying too much on the undo button. Digital art allows for a lot of flexibility and revision, but constantly hitting the undo button can result in overthinking and paralysis. Try to work with intention and purpose, and trust your instincts instead of constantly second-guessing yourself. Focusing too much on details. While it's important to pay attention to details in your digital art, focusing too much on them can result in a lack of overall cohesion and impact. Make sure you're stepping back regularly to assess your piece as a whole, and adjust your details accordingly. Not using reference images. Not using reference images is a common mistake in digital art that can lead to inaccuracies and inconsistencies in your artwork. By using reference images, you can ensure that the proportions, shapes, and details of your subject are accurate and convincing. Reference images can also help you create more convincing lighting, textures, and forms in your artwork. To use reference images effectively, it's important to choose references that are appropriate for your subject and style, and to spend time studying and analyzing the details of your references. You can also combine multiple references to create a more unique and original composition. By incorporating references into your digital art workflow, you can create more realistic and convincing artwork. Ignoring the importance of values. Values refer to the relative lightness and darkness of different areas in an artwork. Ignoring the importance of values can make your digital art appear flat, dull, or uninteresting. By understanding and applying values effectively, you can create more dynamic, expressive, and realistic artwork. To create effective values in your artwork, it's important to study how light and shadow work in real life and to practice creating values using different digital art techniques. You can also experiment with different lighting scenarios and color palettes to create more varied and interesting values in your digital art. Failing to experiment and take risks. Digital art offers endless possibilities for experimentation and creativity, but many artists fall into the trap of playing it safe and sticking to familiar techniques and styles. Failing to experiment and take risks can lead to a lack of growth and progress in your digital art skills. To avoid this, it's important to regularly push yourself out of your comfort zone and try new techniques, styles, and subjects. This can involve experimenting with different brushes, tools, and software, or exploring new themes and genres. By embracing experimentation and risk-taking in your digital art practice, you can open up new possibilities for growth and creativity. Remember that making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process, and that every mistake is an opportunity to learn and improve your skills. In conclusion, digital art offers incredible creative possibilities, but it also presents unique challenges and pitfalls that can hinder your progress and growth as an artist. By avoiding these common mistakes and developing good digital art habits, you can create more successful and visually compelling artwork. Remember to focus on fundamentals like composition, anatomy, and perspective. Take your time with the sketch phase, use reference images effectively, and experiment with different techniques and styles. By continually learning and growing in your digital art practice, you can unlock your full creative potential and achieve your artistic goals. The final results. Here's the final artwork. I added some lighting and shadows. Hope you like it. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.